my gosh. Okay.
Whoa, girl, recording in progress. I love that she lets you know. That way you could never like surprise record somebody. That's great.
Yeah, her voice was alarming.
You really can't like sneak record anybody on Zoom, so that's good to know.
You
But
can't really sneak record anyone anywhere anymore, can you? Not really, I guess.
state by state.
Actually, that's why. I just heard a horror story today of somebody that found out they were being sneak recorded. So, you know what?
I
Never
think it varies state by state how legal it is. Like I know that some states you can just do whatever you want and record people. And then some states, I think it's like a felony or a crime to do that unless you have two-party consent.
Valid. I agree.
But
I agree with the law.
I think every state should probably be like that because the recording of folks, in my opinion, has gotten out of hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
What do you think about it in public?
I think it's gotten out of hand, especially well, so like the side of social media that I'm on, I see a lot of like people like angry patients recording doctors and nurses, and I think that is not okay.
Oh my God, I've never seen that. Oh, you'll have to send me a link for those.
I'm on healthcare social media. And so yes, they're like very disgruntled patients will like um, record doctors and nurses. And I know that none of them, there's no way any of them consented to it. So yeah, kind of weird. Do you want to give us your ADHD update?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I met with my psychiatrist. When was that? Saturday? Yeah, right?
Saturday. Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. And we are increasing my dosage. Yeah, and I just told her that, I my only concern about like increasing my dosage was I have noticed like a little bit of irritability, but she said that is very normal and it could just be because of like things that like think like boundaries that are like leveling out. It just might be me becoming more aware of like things that I like and things that I don't like because everything was kind of all jumbled together. And now that I'm seeing more clearly, it might just be like, oh, well, I don't like that anymore. You know what I mean? It's just like everything's like leveling out. So, because like, especially being someone that has anxiety and has intrusive thoughts, you're like, well, if I'm angry now, am I just going to get angrier and like become this like monster. You know what I mean? But I mean, she just reassured me that that's not going to happen, and that it's probably just like boundaries and things that I just need to check in on myself with.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think actually it can be hard to tell sometimes. Like it's a science, right? Like hashtag women in STEM. It's very much a science. Sometimes whenever people are feeling things like that, it's because, the medication isn't high enough. And so we need
Mm-hmm.
to go higher. So like there's
Yeah.
definitely like there's a very, very good chance that like increasing the dose is going to help you with that irritability. Um, but if that's not the case, if irritability is a side effect of the medication and the medication doesn't help you with your irritability, we will soon find out. You know what I mean? So like we're gonna find out either way.
It's a I have always like approached my personality as like I am not an angry person, so anger coming up in this time in my life is not surprising because I am more recently no contact with a parent.
Mhm.
And like a lot of those things being a mom like can be triggering, to that. So I'm like, it could be that. There are like, I don't know. It's just like I have never been like an angry person. So like having irritability recently is just kind of like shocking to me.
Mhm.
But it's also like not that shocking because I'm like a profound people pleaser. So like that's also not shocking. That's like your body keeps the score, so eventually it's going to be like, I'm tired of being nice. I don't want to be nice anymore. I want to like stand my ground. I want to speak up for myself. And I think every people pleaser experiences that like multiple times in their life because when you're a people pleaser, you have boundaries that are constantly violated and constantly because you're just like passive. And I think that I'm just getting to a place where I don't want to be passive anymore. And like in all aspects of my life, not just like one, there's no like particular thing that I'm even like speaking about right now. It's just like in all parts of my life, like I just want to stand up for myself because I've like seen what it's done to like other women in my life. So Yeah, that's all.
Well, I think in addition to that, your life's more overstimulating than it ever has been.
True.
Like
That so true.
so overstimulating.
Mhm.
Right now, especially like with a 3-year-old. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Um, and so I do think that that plays a part for sure, the overstimulation. And then also like, your mom, like your mama bear in the family. So like you're looking out for both of your kids' best interests all of the time. Like you're looking out for your husband. Like you just want to make sure everybody's like good. And I mean, that can be a lot, honestly.
Yeah. Mhm. And a lot of the projects and the things that I'm working on are super fulfilling, but they're not like I'm not like really reaping any benefits of everything that I'm working on right now. And it's very, and
Yes.
it's been like that since like a year. So I'm definitely getting to that point too, like where I can feel it, when like it's also like the end of my Saturn return too, which is like ironic, but like I can feel that like the chapter is closing, and I'm just so ready to like get back in that space where it's like you do the job, you get paid, you do the thing, you get the reward. Like I'm very much been in the like grind, and I'm ready for the reward.
Oh my gosh, absolutely can relate. Like
Yeah.
it's so much like that. No matter what you're in school for, you're doing so much free
Hmm.
labor. Oh my God. Like when I was in clinicals for psych NP school, I mean, I'm literally working like multiple days a week, all day, doing exactly the same thing I am now, except that somebody else was like affirming my ideas and sending in the and like putting the stamp of approval on the prescriptions. Like I would still like call them in and like talk to the pharmacy and like talk to the patient. But I did obviously when I was in school, I did have like a preceptor, and so I did definitely have like a safety net and a sounding board, and I was reporting to them for sure. But at the same time, it was like I was going to clinic for like 8 and 9 hour days, and paying to do that versus getting paid to do it. Wow.
That's a lot. No, that's like,
Yes. So that's where you're at right now. Like you're doing the
mhm.
projects and you're like doing all the stuff, but you're just not getting paid, and it's just not pleasant.
No, and it's kind of to circle back on that. I feel like that is something that starting this podcast, like I think that I've realized about both of us, we're in fields, and I know you wanted to touch on this too, but we're in fields that are very mentally taxing, but
Mhm.
not super physically taxing. So for some reason, it's not as valued. And it's like, mm, it actually is because you're asking me to do like 12 hours of work that you just don't want to do, and you're putting it on my lap being like, oh, it's easy, it's social media, it's like it's digital media, like it's not a big deal. Like, yeah, to you because you don't know how to do it, which is fine, like that's what I get paid to do. But like if you don't see, like it has to measure out, to our audio listeners. I'm doing like the balancing scales. Like it has to level out. So it's like you have to value my work and you have to pay me for my work. And if you don't value me and pay me, then I'm not going to do the work. And that's especially if I really don't even want to do the freelance world because I don't want to have to keep like setting like I really did think going into this job I wanted to be like an entrepreneur, but now I'm just like I don't know because maybe I just want a salary. Maybe I'm like maybe I'm okay with a salary, like
Mhm.
because having to like fight for what I believe that I deserve to be paid instead of just like being hired at a bougier company that just like and I might change my mind in like 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but like right now I'm just like I don't know. I don't know if I want to do like freelance stuff because it's exhausting having to like fight for what you deserve to be paid when you're like busting your butt.
100%. The good news about both of those options is that they're always going to be there. You're
That's
always,
so true.
you are always, always, always going to be able to go work for a company, and
Yeah.
you're also always going to have the opportunity to do your own thing. So
Exactly.
you really can't mess it up, to be honest.
Mm-mm.
If you said, "Hey, I want to work for a big company, get some really solid experience under my belt, make some connections, et cetera," and
Right.
and decide to like venture out on your own once you kind of have like um like solid footing or stability, whatever. You can also save up money for starting your own business.
True.
Because it's yeah, you gotta have like some cushion there when you do that for sure. For certain, because like I graduated from grad school. I graduated in August, and
Hmm.
I took my boards at the end of August, but I continued to work as an RN until December. From August to December, I had my NP, but I continued to work as an RN to to save money because
Wow.
I knew that like I needed money to start my business and that for quite a while I wouldn't be, making very much money because I was just going to be taking, people as they came and stuff. It's not like I was going to start with a full caseload or anything like that. It's just like literally from the ground up. So, um, yeah, you might have to
Yeah.
like kind of overlap too. I definitely, yeah, I would definitely recommend like at least probably some overlap, unless you're just like really, really, really financially stable at the time. But,
Definitely.
like overlap, overlap the having a steady, reliable paycheck,
Yeah.
use that as a bridge to your own business because I mean, like my pay now, not stable. Like some,
Hmm.
like we're great, we're flowing, tons of people need me, like there's a huge demand for my services. Some months they're like,
Air conditioning, sorry.
some months it's like, who's Hannah? I don't know her. I don't know her.
And that's when we met. We met last summer,
Yeah.
and I was like in a very much like her summer girl era where she was just like live on like 11 a.m. like making banana bread, and I was like, yes, like stay at home wife, like yes. And then you're like, yeah, no, like when you had to go back to work, you were like fully gone, and I was so like you were so accessible to me, and then you were like right now you can like full, like this is my hand in time, but like you were like so accessible to me. And I'm not even like that friend that like my love language is quality time, but like we just spent so much time together, like a lot, like online. We haven't even met in real life. but, but yeah, I mean, like it feels like it, whatever. But yeah, it's crazy. Your schedule is wild in that way for sure.
Wildly in what's the word? In oh, I am literally losing this word. Inconsistent.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but it fits you because you love to travel. You
Yeah.
love to like go and have new adventures. Like
Yeah,
I
it
was
does.
thinking about that. Like if you, I mean, and again, I can cut this too. But if you like want to talk about your childhood, like being like you know to the world, like everything is kind of like a new experience. I don't know what you want to share and not share, but
Oh, well, I did want to talk about that just like a little bit today because I wanted to talk about um a meme I saw, which
okay.
yeah, this meme I saw on Threads, it was yesterday. Yeah, because yesterday was a holiday and so Luis was off work and we were just chilling.
Hmm.
And the weather in Nashville has been obscenely cloudy, rainy, and like
Same.
very unusually shitty. So normally we would be like at the pool and stuff by now, which we have gone to the pool once, but normally, or I've gone twice, but we would normally like be like out, whatever. But it's been weird, and that's completely and totally fine because I know as soon as the sun does pop out, it's going to be 100 degrees and it's going to be awful. So
Right.
it's fine. But anyway, we were just chilling at home and I saw this meme on Threads and it was like a block of like frozen pizza and a carton of chocolate milk. And it said on the meme, it said, we really used to be at school eating this at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Literally.
And I showed him and I was like, is this real? And he starts like waxing nostalgic about his school lunches.
Oh
And
my god,
he
yeah.
starts talking about the salad bar and the burger bar and the pizza
Lots.
and chicken nugget day and how
Hmm.
good the chocolate milk was and the lunch ladies and how they would like do all these little tricks to get extra food when he was in high school and all of this stuff. And it was just one of those things like me and him have moments like this very frequently
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
where it's just like I have no idea what you're talking about. Because I didn't go to school, listeners,
There it is.
listeners, I didn't go to school for one single day of my life until
Wild.
I started community college. And I was starting nursing school, which I'm sure that if you live on the earth, you have probably heard that like nursing is a pretty rigorous degree and it's a pretty like rigorous program. I'm not going to say it's the hardest thing in the world because it's most definitely not, but it's hard.
It's up there for sure.
It's hard. Um, so yes, so we were talking about school lunch, and I never had school lunch ever in my life. I've never had school lunch or
Yeah, I mean,
breakfast.
you didn't really. I mean, it's just very. I can't. There's nothing I can really compare it to because it's not really like comparable to anything. If anything, it's comparable to like microwave food. But there were some like pretty iconic things, of course, like the chocolate milk and the. We would have these like the square pizzas, but we would get them in, for breakfast. And if you got to school early enough, and they were like scrambled eggs, cheese, sausage, like oh my god, so especially with the chocolate milk, like so good. Taco Tuesday, we loved, and they'd get the taco bowls, like oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, so Luis having gone to public school and then also having worked in a prison, so he has those like two experiences that are both funded by the state. Um, and so he was telling me the difference between, so it's the same pizzas at your public school lunch and at the prison. It's the
Oh,
too
that
many
sounds right,
pizza.
totally.
But he said the one at school was so good and it like slapped and it was amazing because of the way it was like cooked and prepared. And he's like, it's the same pizza, but in prison it's like shitty. But at
Mm,
school it was good, you
there
know?
was love on it. They put love.
I was like, the lunch ladies like really, really did it up. And then I was thinking about what it would be to be like a school lunch lady. Like, what do you think that would be like?
My lunch lady was also my bus driver. So
That's so cool.
it was so cool. And she was the nicest lady. She was my bus driver from ninth to 12th grade. My, my family could not afford a car. Like, and the nice thing too about public school lunches is like we could not afford to like pack lunch every day. So we got like, being like a lower income family, you get like a stipend and you have like a meal card. So I never, like, I don't know. I just like, it's very wholesome. It is very wholesome. Like, the lunch ladies, like, there are parts of public school where you can just tell that like kind of similar to the healthcare world that people just want you to like feel good and be okay and be fed and be like loved on, and they
Mhm.
know that they don't know. My mom used to always say to me like, you never know what somebody went through 5 minutes ago. And it was very like that was like lunch lady code. Like they were just nice and loving, and you
Mhm.
know, they knew that some of the kids like this was maybe their only meal
Right.
was that they were getting at school. And that's like still the message that gets sent home to us with our kids. Like this might be, and they do it all summer long. Like they'll do lunches. The school will supply lunches like throughout the summer,
Okay.
and they'll make sure because like some of the kids like they go right to camp because their parents work full time, so they'll go right to camp and they'll. So yeah, it's like it's very wholesome, at least in like this county. I don't know for everybody else,
Mhm.
but yeah, their lunch ladies were really sweet ladies.
Oh, I love that. And I was just thinking about, I don't know, it seems like it might be kind of fun to be a lunch lady. And
Yeah,
also, you know that if I was a lunch lady, I
you
would
would love it.
just give everybody everything. I wouldn't give a fuck.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I would not give a fuck if it
oh
was
yeah, because if you're in good with the lunch ladies, you get like whatever you want, you
if it
know.
was paid, not paid, all this stuff. But he did tell me like a funny, funny thing. I found this to be like very funny. He said
Hmm.
that there was, obviously like a lot of processed foods that were really like yummy and they bring back good
Hmm.
memories for him. And so I was like, okay, cool. But he said that they weren't allowed to have soda.
I
He
guess we weren't
he
either.
doesn't think he doesn't
Yeah,
think.
we weren't either. Mm-mm.
So I'm like, okay, so you could literally eat like burgers and pizza every day if you wanted to, because he said the burger was like every day. And I'm like, but you couldn't have a soda. And he's like, no. I'm like,
I
well,
think it was the caffeine. honestly. It's probably
Gotta
the
draw the
coffee.
line somewhere. Gotta draw the line somewhere. You know, it's like, okay.
I do remember at lunch, we weren't allowed to have sodas, but they had these really good, I think they still sell them at the dollar store, but they were like, and they were loaded with aspartame, which like gives you such bad headaches and probably brain tumors, cancer, whatever. But like they were like so yummy, and I love the black cherry one. They were like clear
Yes.
cans, but they were sparkling water, and you could crack them open. And I
Okay.
would eat the black cherry one, and it tasted just like Dr. Pepper, and
Okay.
it
I
was
think I've had those.
so yummy. I like think about those every day.
I think I've had those. No, that sounds familiar. So
Mm-hmm.
speaking of school lunch and cooking, and I have been cooking
Yes. Tell me
a
finally.
lot more in the last couple of weeks. And actually I have to get out my laptop because I'll tell you why. So I'm making an Excel spreadsheet. So you know that I am not into cooking. I don't
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it, and I'm not really that good at it. But I kind of want to just be a stay-at-home wife at some point and not have to worry about like working and making money. And so I asked Luis, I was like, Luis, what would I have to do? What would I have to do to be able to be a stay-at-home wife? And he said, if I learn how to make 365 meals, that I don't have to pay any bills anymore. So that doesn't necessarily mean that I wouldn't work or I wouldn't like do anything to like make money. I think I probably still would, but I wouldn't have to pay any bills.
Okay. So
Okay.
you're like the fun money.
Yeah.
Love that.
And I think that that would be so sick. I've never had that in my life ever. I have always just been in this position where it doesn't matter. Like I just like I have to pay money or I have to make money and I have to pay bills. And they've been like big bills too. And I mean, yes, they are big due to my choices. Like I have a mortgage because I decided to buy a house. I had to pay, $90,000 in tuition because I decided to get a master's degree. So those bills have been big by my own doing. I totally own up to that, but that doesn't change the fact that they've been big. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm just, trying to pay like $600 rent or something like that, like, which is still significant. I'm not saying that that's a low amount. That's a high amount too. But
Yeah.
it's just always been like my bills have always been so much. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna pull up my Excel spreadsheet and every week I'm gonna do an update on how many meals I have.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love this.
So the thing is though, like for it to make it onto the list, he has to like it enough for it to go on the list. Yeah, no, I'm serious. I'm like, hey, when we get to 365, I'm not paying another single bill. And
I know you are.
he's like, okay. He literally is like, okay. And I'm like, okay, so what are you gonna do? Because you're gonna have to like really,
Buckle up. Get to work.
really put the pedal to the metal here. And he said that I think he said when I get to like 60, he's gonna start thinking about what he's gonna do because he's gonna have to make a lot more money than he makes right now.
Can I tell you the funniest thing that is like the polar opposite of this? Like literally, uh, Luke was in the kitchen this morning and he was like, I gotta figure out like a second income, like for us to like get more money. And I was like, imagine like I'm going to school to get my bachelor's degree to like get a big girl job. And he was like, no, like I don't want you to work. Like I'm just like just the polar
Yeah.
of
Oh
like
my gosh, I
you're
love it.
you literally like being like I don't want to work, and I'm literally like, but that is like a testament to like also the past like what like 15 years of our life. Like me, I got married super young, like out of my mom's house, like into a marriage, and so I never was like the breadwinner ever.
Yeah.
I always had the bills that were like for the fun money and doing the fun things and like oh, I'm just like the girly, like I'm serious. And so I feel like I've had to fight to even get, to even get like a big girl bill, because it's always been like very Caroline. Caroline just has like her fun little dream job.
But that's, I mean, that's so valid. Like the fact that you want to like get your education, work, and contribute to it, that's so valid. And it doesn't, I mean, and that's what I definitely want women to know. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a woman, it doesn't matter what you're doing, it's very valid. Okay? If you're
Yeah.
a stay-at-home wife and you don't have kids, valid. Girl, you're working hard. You're working
Mm-hmm.
hard. Okay?
Yeah.
I know you are. If you're a stay-at-home mom and wife, baby, you're working hard as hell. If you are a single woman, you are working so hard. If you are a career and a wife and a mom and or any configuration of that, I don't care if you have a babysitter, if you have a nanny, if you have support from your in-laws, I don't care what you have. You- If you're a woman, what you're doing is valid and you're working very hard. That is what I know.
Yeah.
That is what I know. Like if you're in school, like you are, and you're maybe
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily like working a full-time job, working very hard. So
Yeah.
so there's a couple caveats too. They can't be breakfast things.
Rude. I don't like that.
Breakfast items don't count. That's what the fuck I said. Like, what do you mean breakfast items don't count? And he said it's
Wait, breakfast
because
all day.
he doesn't mind making his own breakfast. And I'm like, okay.
Congratulations.
Also, he said, yeah, because if I let you put a bowl of cereal on there, you will on this Excel spreadsheet. I said, absolutely, I would if you would let me. I'm done. Like I'm done with this rat race pressure. Okay,
You're like, I am a trophy wife. I
I
mean, he put that rock on your finger. What did he expect? How did he expect you to behave when you put that? Show the rock for the viewers.
I
Like, how do you expect someone to behave, Luis, when you do that to their finger? You think they're gonna act normal after that? Sorry, I
no,
had to get
I
personal
wasn't
about
acting normal before that. I wasn't acting normal before that. No,
that.
maybe after that. Yeah. Okay. So I have 5 items that have made the cut.
Oh, love. Okay.
Okay. And then I have two that were like almost, but just like need a little bit of modification.
Oh,
So
love.
I have two that I have to like remake and make like some little tweaks to the recipe because it was like this one thing, the thing I made last night, I made garlic something shrimp last night, but I made sweet potatoes with it and that wasn't the right vibe. Like it should have been like rice and broccoli.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so but I didn't
Yeah.
fucking know that because I don't know what I'm doing in there. I
You
just
could do like a mashed potato too, if you're ever like when in doubt. But sweet
right.
potatoes are very like chicken. I feel like sweet potatoes always go with chicken. Sweet potato fries, chicken tenders. Like anytime you want a sweet potato, I would always do a chicken.
Yeah. So I've got 5 confirmed and two just needs a little bit of work. So that I mean I'm down to 360. So if you're listening to this and you have a recipe for me to make, please drop it in the comments or something. I don't know. Get this recipe
Somewhere.
to me somehow stat. Um, what do you think? What do you think is like a reasonable goal for this? It's definitely going to take more than a year because I can't do one a day. Because like we talked about this morning, we literally talked about this morning. If I'm working, I am not
Right.
also cooking.
No,
Okay?
definitely.
No, can't happen. Won't happen. So definitely, I mean, it's going to take more than a year.
Well, and I also feel like if there are meals that you can meal prep, I feel like you need some kind of like bonus points or something. Because if you can meal prep a meal and it can last him like through his work week, you deserve like double points in my opinion. You know what I mean?
No,
No?
he's Mexican, babe. He's Mexican. Listen, do you know what this man's mom, do you know what this man's mom does? She, okay, first of all, she worked her behind off full time.
Mm-hmm.
House spotless. I'm telling you right now, I would eat off of her bathroom floor.
Crazy.
My
I would
mother.
never ever eat off the bathroom.
Off of mine? No. Off of my
Absolutely not.
mother-in-law's? My mother-in-law's no problem. No
Right.
problem. I will eat off of that. So worked full time, raised three boys,
Wow.
house spotless, and making three homemade meals a day, packing lunches for husband's work, baking, making tamales and making huge like loads of tamales and freezing them,
Mm.
canning, making salsa. I mean, it is truly remarkable the work that this woman has done, and I respect it so much, but it's not going to be me.
The bar, like with having a Mexican mother, the bar is like unreachable because like I mean, they truly are like just the backbone
The
of this
best.
country. The
The
way
best.
that that work ethic is just unmatched, untouchable. I mean, did you watch the episode of Queer Eye? Did you watch the newest Queer Eye?
Wait, what show?
Queer Eye on Netflix?
Oh, I haven't watched that for a long time. I
Oh
think
my
I
god.
maybe watched a bit of it back in the day.
The new season was so good. They were in Vegas. You
Oh,
would love it. It was really good. But yeah, there was a Latina mother who had three girls. She was doing literally housekeeping 12 hours, getting off of work and doing her bachelor's degree
yep.
all night, sleeping on the floor. Her girls had the beds. I mean, they gave her like a whole new house, like everything that she needed. But like just the way that she was like fine regardless, because like the oh my gosh, just the gratitude and the work ethic, it's just beautiful. It's unmatched. Like,
Yeah, my mother-in-law is actually incredible because she's also always there for anything the grandkids need, right? So like she has five grandchildren.
wow.
So anything, anything that they need, and they range from like college age to I think the youngest ones are 7. So like anything that they need, anytime that their parents need to go anywhere, if they need someone to watch them, pick them up, do this, do that, she's there for that. And just also like keeping everything straight and just, I don't know, she's really just like so lovely and generous and just so hardworking and she like just keeps everything so straight. Like whenever they go to Mexico to visit family, she'll bring me back tequila, she'll bring me back chocolate, like
She's
she's
just always thinking about
yeah,
others.
always thinking about other people and just yeah, like so on top of it. So I mean, yeah, he's extremely, extremely lucky to have a mom like that. And I also feel honestly really lucky that um he doesn't hold me to that standard.
So true, yeah, because that can really like kind of warp with a man's
Yeah, he does.
mind when you have, yeah, no, no, and everything Hannah was saying about like him, even the Excel, like it's obviously a joke, like hee hee ha ha, like he's not like like he's like the sweetest,
No, he's not like
warm-hearted, down to earth guy.
yeah, he's not like, oh my gosh,
Definitely.
you need to learn how to cook or like you need to cook more. I went to him and I was like, yo, what do I gotta do? I was like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this.
Hmm.
I don't want to pay bills anymore. I don't want this pressure anymore. What do I gotta do? And he answered and he gave me an answer. So yeah, we need 360 more meals.
Maybe
Uh,
you should ask his mom. Maybe she has some like,
Oh, girl, she does, but I don't know. I mean, the ingredients alone would like send me. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, so true.
the stuff she makes is complex. I mean, to her, it's like she makes it look easy, but for me, it would be a disaster.
They're like the women that like even like in our generation that are going to the grocery store or to the farmer's market multiple times a week to get fresh ingredients,
Hmm.
you give me anxiety. Like you have to know that you stress me out. You make me feel like I'm not good enough, and you give me anxiety, and I need you to know that. And I'm so happy for you and your farmer's market and your vlog. Thanks. It's really making me feel so good over.
I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy for them too. But yeah, she does like, a garden in which I honestly like if we did have room, I'm not gonna say if we did have room, I'm gonna say when we have room.
Period. Yeah.
Okay, when we have room, I think I'll definitely garden. And By gardening, I do mean also growing marijuana.
We love to garden over here in Maryland.
I'm
We're very
talking about vegetables and other stuff.
period.
I will absolutely be getting a license to do that. Absolutely. Okay, we have 3 minutes and 50 seconds left.
Oh my god, we talk so much. But there's so much more we want to talk
I know you pick the you pick the next one.
about. Oh my gosh, let's just like touch on Sirens on Netflix.
Sirens. Okay,
I finished it. Did you finish it?
I did.
Oh, I'm glad. Okay, let's just spoiler alert. What did you think about the ending? We don't have a lot of time.
Um, I was okay with it.
Me too.
I
Yeah.
was okay with it. I was not shocked.
No,
Um, because men that are like that are like that.
they're so like that.
They're not going to stop being like that, and they're never going to run out. They're never going to run out of women who will be that woman.
Right.
It's just going to continue until they die. Um,
Hmm.
period. End. But also, and this could be a hot take. I forget the girl's name. The girl who got with the older guy. I don't like hate that decision for her.
Honestly, it made sense for her to like, as soon as her dad was talking, like, it's just gonna be you and I again, for her to like run, literally physically run into the other man's arms that
Yeah.
has actually been providing all. And I think, oh, I just got chills. I feel like that was maybe the message, because like when you have daddy issues,
Mhm.
speaking from experience, you will literally run into another man's arms to get that fatherly love.
I
And I
think,
think that's what it
yeah,
was.
I think that I could either, I don't know whether it's empathy or sympathy. Probably empathy. I think I could empathize with her because quite literally last week when we were talking about kind of like my anxious episode, and I said, I would have done anything to get rid of that feeling. I felt
Hmm.
like I was going to have to move to Europe.
Right.
Okay, so I get it. Like she was like, I'm running and I'm not gonna stop until I find a way out of that. I will
Hmm.
not be doing that.
Right. And like, did you think they were soulmates? Because he was like having a panic attack when she was running. Like they were like their souls were like tied or connected or something. Because I was like, is that what they were trying to imply? Or was it just like panic on both ends? Who knows?
I think it kind of had something to do. There was like some type of kind of weird tie vibe. Like there was some weird connection between Bruce and the wife. You know, there
Mhm.
were several weird kind of connections, and I think it was just one of those. But do I think soulmates? Absolutely not. But
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough.
I think she's gonna have a better life doing what she did.
I agree. Oh yeah, and I think she thought that too because, and like what she said to her Devin, her sister, like what else? What else would I literally do?
Yeah.
Which is like valid. She had 1 year of law school. She's been an assistant like the
Yeah.
rest of the time. Like what is she literally going to do? Devin, go back to Buffalo and live in that house with her dad that's losing his marbles, or stay in this beautiful mansion with a decently looking loaded guy that like just wants to hang out with you like half the year. I mean, what would you do?
Yeah. I would have
And
done the same thing.
Devin was a martyr in my opinion. Like,
Absolutely. Yes.
girl,
Okay.
she's
It's
worth
gonna
it.
cut us off. It's gonna cut us off.
Love you guys.